from the Workplace Ninja Summit in Baden. From sponsor breakthroughs to community-led revolutions, this is the Workplace Ninja Community Stage.
Okay, good. So, fully crowded room here, kind of. But I know that they can hear me also, so they have to listen to us now also. So welcome to the Nerdio session. We want to introduce you to a special part of our product today. So Björn will tell you a little bit more about the overall product, and then I will dive into our Intune specific features. And depending on how much we talk, maybe I can even show a live demo. So, but if there's any question after the session, we have our booth over there. We can do demo sessions. We can answer questions. So, but yeah, maybe I should introduce myself first. My name is Christian. I am from the northern part of Germany in Bremen, or Oldenburg, better to say. For everyone who is not aware, that's around Hamburg. I am today 20 years plus in the industry. I will not disclose any further because it could maybe show how old I'm getting. And I've been in the industry now for a long time. Have been in end-user computing for the last 15 years. I was a software developer in the beginning, and so, yeah. I'm a technical guy, and I'm very happy today to be accompanied by my wonderful colleague Björn, who wants to introduce himself.
Good. So my name is Björn Rieber. I'm the lead. Oh, you clicked already. I didn't see that. So I'm the lead UC strategist for EMEA at Nerdio. And I also own the MVP program and parts of our community. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too. But it's nice to share a stage with the younger generation because I'm way older than him and have spent more than 30 years plus in this industry, 27 of them in end-user computing. So I run around trade shows like this, talk about Nerdio and how we can help you, or think we can help you, solve some of your daily problems. So this is what Nerdio do. We make your workday way easier in many ways, as long as you working with AVD, Windows 365, Intune, Defender. We are a single pane of glass when it comes to doing deployment, management, control, insight into those environments. And most of all, we save you a lot of cost when it comes to simplifying the management task or cost optimization of running, for example, AVD in Azure. So we reduce the Azure consumption from 25% and up to like 75%, depending on how good you have set up your AVD environment, of course, and what kind of workloads you are running there. So, plus that, to understand and have one single pane of glass when it comes to modern work from Microsoft is super, super important. So, we even do Azure Local. So for us, that is just another host pool deployed where we would like it to deploy. So Azure Local is a part of it. And what we see in today's political situation is many people is saying that I need to kind of have the data on-prem. So more and more is also said, okay, we are going fully cloud, but we need to have an option on Azure Local. So that is what we do, single pane of glass when it comes to Azure and Azure services on end-user computing from Microsoft. So I would like to talk to you about how you can become expert, because training classes, we run Innovation Day. Training classes is free. We even pay your hotel bill. You have to get there on your own, but after that, we take care of you. And of course, we have a community, and you can go to LinkedIn and join the community where a lot of our MVPs who is here, like Dominic, Stefan, Esther, Sune has been here as speakers. They are also MVPs at Nerdio, and they can help with sharing the Nerdio and Microsoft story to you. So let's do demo. He's way better than me being here.
Thank you very much, Björn. So before starting with the Nerdio demo, maybe I have to do some clarification. We love Microsoft. Don't get me wrong about all the things I will tell you and where I think we improve the product. We love the solution. It's a great solution that we get delivered from Microsoft. But what we also see when we listen to our customers and to the community, there are some flaws sometimes. And we know that. Everyone is in the industry for a long time, and we know that Microsoft products mostly have a very good idea in the background, but to get it up and running, it leads people like us that think about, okay, how do we get it up and running? How do we get it to a real-life scenario? So in Intune, we have a lot of these things. So most of us have come from a time with SCCM and GPOs, know that. We already had a hard time to learn that, to get familiar with that. And then Microsoft introduced Intune and said, hey, boy, you have to go on. You have to go to the next level. And all the things we learned don't apply anymore. So one of my favorite things, I think everyone loves that, is the magic time we need to deploy an application. I think that's the thing that everyone has experienced, that where it seems like there's research about it, like figure out when will it be deployed and in what cases will it be deployed quickly and when not. So we see there is a lot of friction in the products when we use it for the real use cases out in the world. So what Nerdio tries to do is to align everything. Like Björn said, we are a single pane of glass for the whole topic of workplace management in the Microsoft ecosystem. So you see we have the native PC, telephone, laptop things on the left side. We also care about the Windows 365 and the AVD parts. So everything that is somehow related, how we get our users to the applications and to the work, is the stuff that we want to address for the workspace admin. And we do that with our Nerdio Manager for Enterprise. So Nerdio Manager for Enterprise is a software that gets installed into your Azure tenant, and then it connects to all these things via the APIs. So what we are doing is basically orchestration. We are not doing any magic. We talk to the APIs, bring that into UI, make some logic around that that should help you in your day-to-day business. So one of the things, for example, is getting insight in your environment. So, for example, we have these dashboards giving you the overview about, hey, how is my quotas doing for different stuff? How are my networks doing? Do I still have IP addresses left? All that kind of stuff you get in dashboards really easily. And when we talk about Intune, we have, since this year, we started to go deeper into that, because we know, yes, there is a lot of data in Intune, but sometimes it's hard to get the right data at the right time. So you can build your own dashboards here and say, okay, I maybe have a compliance dashboard, maybe I have a view for my applications, maybe patching level of operating systems I want to monitor, or battery levels of my mobile devices, how healthy are them? So we help you to get that overview, to get this information of your environment. We can go into, okay, which versions of applications are installed. We can filter for that. We can create reports of that, so you have all these knowledge. The other stuff is managing the endpoints. One thing is to get knowledge about your environment. The other stuff is you have to do things. So everything you could do with Intune, you can also do in Nerdio via Intune. The benefit of what we are doing is we are trying to get a better interface for you and connect features with each other that are not connected normally. So these things you see here, you see different type of devices. There's virtual machines, cloud PCs, there are laptops, mobile devices in there. We support all of that, and you can do your day-to-day tasks in here. One of the new features that came this year is the Console Connect feature. So we bring a separate remote assistance tool in here. And what I really like about this tool is, first of all, it's integrated into the Nerdio Manager, so you have still your single pane of glass, you just jump onto something. It is context aware, so if I have a Windows laptop, I can jump on the Windows laptop. But if I have an AVD multi-session host, it knows and asks you like, hey, which user do you want to support? Jump into that user. Or do you want to do something on the host itself? Get to the context level. We have a bunch of tools in there also, like of course you can chat with the user, have a video call, you can blacken the screen, all that kind of stuff. What we also have is a diagnostic toolbox, and I love that one. So you see we have the device manager in here, task manager, registry editor, so we can, via Nerdio, jump on there and do whatever we need to do. The fun part is sometimes we have to do something on a device, but we don't want to disrupt the user. So what we can do is we can open the diagnostic toolbox without having a session to the user's desktop. So we can work on his device, we can change files, registry edits, kill a task, whatever, but the user is not disrupted in his work. Also, this helps our customers in the AVD space, for example. They don't need a Bastion host anymore if they want to get to their golden image VMs or stuff like that, because you can just use that toolset also on the AVD side. So, pretty comprehensive solution here. This is one of my favorites. So when I talk to customers about, hey, if you're working with policies and you want to change something, what's your workflow? And nearly everyone tells me that, yeah, I do a copy of the policy, start working that. When I believe it's working, then I roll it out. Because there's no backing up of policies or something like that. We build that in. We do backups of your policies every time you change something. We can even do that on a time-based schedule. So if you have users that work still in Intune, not in Nerdio, you still have the backup from 3 hours ago. And we are not only backing them up, we are also comparing them so you can switch through the versions, see the differences, who did the change. And we are also backing up the assignments. So whatever is messed up, you just go to Nerdio and say, OK, let's roll back the assignment and the policy to the state where we know it's working. So powerful, small thing, but quality of life improvement. And this is my last favorite feature here. It's the conflict management. So when we had GPOs, it was simple. We knew how they work. If I have multiple GPOs to the device, we knew what happened. The problem with Intune policies is they are not working and behaving like that. So if I have multiple policies in the same context with conflicting settings, I get into trouble because I don't know what happens on the device. Nerdio finds that for you. Nerdio tells you like, hey, I have policy B and policy A, and they are in the same context and have a different value in this setting. So you can quickly find the problem, solve it in the policy or in the context assignment, and make sure that your environment is working like expected. So to not only show you slides, let's go into my browser and let's open our SE lab. So whatever I have shown there, it's here in real life. So one thing, for example, is the insights. I love the insights because it's giving you a better view of what's really happening. A good example here is the compliance breakdown. So we see that we have most of the devices are compliant, everything is good. So I go into sales, my favorite team, because they always mess something up. And then we see, yes, we are compliant from an Intune perspective, but we still see issues somewhere in these devices. So I can go there to Peter and take a look and see, okay, what's going on here? Oh, we have patches overdue. So the device is compliant by Intune, but still there is something that I should fix. We see there's a problem with config policies in here, and there's a problem with one app. Oh, of course, Cisco AnyConnect, that's always a problem. So we can get all these things, and we can get lists here on the need we have. So one thing that I love, for example, is to figure out what of my devices have operating systems that are expiring soon. Not are already expired, but expiring soon. I have to do something here. I have to get an update or change the device or something like that. So I can go in here and I can get the list of all users that are expiring soon. And then we have these small things like warranty status. For Microsoft and Dell devices today, but there are more vendors coming, we can get the information once the warranty going off. Or we want to know if we have mobile devices where the user should get a new device because the battery health is going down. We get that information here. For the policies and for the other parts, we have different ways to view for things. So one thing, for example, is I can get from the device and see, okay, what's going on with that device? What's my group memberships? What is the compliance doing? What policies are there? Are there problems with policies? What is the problem with the policies? How is my update management on that device? So we get all this information. But we can also look to it from another view. So we can take a look from the policy perspective and say, okay, let's check for my policies here and see if I have problems here, and I want to check these devices and ensure that they are running the right policies. So this is helping me with having these different views, and we can work with that to solve our problems. Of course, we get our performance reports in here, and you see a lot of things look similar like in Intune. It's just arranged better, making more sense for you in your daily use. The configuration issues, as I said, that's a great tool because I can just go here. And the fun thing is, as soon as you install Nerdio and you activate the Intune part, it tells you already. So I have customers in the POC installing Nerdio, just activating the Intune part. They didn't even want to look bigly at that. They mostly were interested in AVD part, and they enable that, and they're like, oh shit, we have a problem. So, and start working on that, because that's a real issue for a lot of companies at the moment. And as said, the policy management in here, we can back up things, we can compare things with each other. That's just a lifesaver in a lot of situations where you can say, okay, we did something, we changed something, we compare the changes, we see who did that. We even see assignments, if there are any. That's the demo environment here. And then we can always roll back to a state that we know and where we have everything else. Just as last thing, you see there is a lot more in here. You see we cover AVD, we cover Windows 365. We have stuff like cost and efficiency dashboards for calculations within the company. We can create golden images with Nerdio for AVD and Windows 365. We have application management in here. So also, if you think about Intune and deployment of applications, we can do that in here. And we can even connect worlds together. So for our AVD environments, for example, we may not be happy about Intune for application deployment because of these moments where we have to wait for something. So what we can do is we can integrate with Intune applications. We can extract applications from Intune, bring it into the Nerdio world, and use our scripting engine to roll out software on the AVD host to know when something is installed. So there's a lot of things we think about. It's like a Swiss Army knife. Ooh, and this time it makes sense because I'm Switzerland. But it's like a Swiss Army knife for all your needs, having one tool to manage everything, all different use cases, and that's what we do. So in the end, I just have to say thank you. So thank you for listening to us. When you are interested to see more, we are still here the whole day. Just come over to the booth. There's still the raffle going on. We have a big Lego piece that we are raffling tonight at 5 p.m. So feel free to come to our booth. I will show you an individual demo, answer your questions, or if you don't have the time today, reach out to us. We are approachable. Connect with Björn on our community, connect with me, and we are always happy to answer your questions. With that, thank you for listening, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks for joining the Workplace Ninja Community Stage. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep on sharing. Until next time.